Hi, I'm John Buckheit. I'm back with another Fire Engineering Training Minutes. We're going to talk about metal and glass storefront doors, very common door, and they present some problems. If you remember back, if you saw one of our previous discussions, we talked that the best way to get in these in a true emergency or a fire is we're going to spread this gap between the frame of the door and the door itself. We're going to take a power saw and we're going to slice through this area, and that's going to expose the keeper of this lock, and we're just going to cut that out of the way. Doesn't create a lot of damage to the door. Fast entry, absolutely the way to go to get in these doors. If you don't have a saw, or maybe you have a serious gas leak or something like that where you don't want to use the saw malfunctions, you don't necessarily need to give up. At that point, it is possible, especially if the door is built into a similar track framework of glass and metal, you can simply take your Halligan, get in here, and spread this. And even though that tenon of that lock has a significant throw, if this is all similar material, you may get enough that you can pop this door open. You just have to beware if the door is a outward opening door. It is possible to pop it and have that keeper of that lock wind up on the inside of the door frame. The door will still be locked. So the solution for that problem would be to have your partner reach over your shoulder while you're doing this and put a little slight pressure on it, and that way the door could come out if it's an outward opening door. Sometimes there's indications. The push bar might tell you that it's an inward or outward opening door. Sometimes, like in this door, you can see the hinge, so we know the hinge is on our side, it's an outward opening door. Other times, they might have like a piano hinge, you're not going to be able to see it. There's no rhyme or reason. Some stores are set up to help the people leave the store when they have packages. They're going to be outward. Sometimes they want to delay you, and it's inward. So you can never really tell if it's outward or inward opening. If this door is set into a masonry wall, you're going to have less likelihood of spreading this without creating significant damage. You might fracture the glass. You're going to bend all this tracking. So you really only want to do that if you have a fire or a serious emergency. It's not going to be an option to try and slip it. But if it is built into a showcase window, you might get away with that. Another method that is quite useful, and if you refer back to our training minutes, we taught you how to pull lock cylinders to residential doors. These doors, actually, it can be quite easy to do, and you'll have good success with it. Use the techniques that we taught you. Get the bezel ring off, crank out the cylinder, and then at that point, you need your modified end of your slip joint pliers that you use to crank out the cylinder. And you're going to reach in here, and there's a roller. You're going to depress that roller and use that bent end of that tool, and that's going to retract that lock, and you can get in the occupancy. What's nice about this also is when you're done, say you had a water leak in there or something like that, you can also resecure the occupancy, crank that cylinder back in, and you don't have as many worries. That's just another look at these storefront doors. They're a very common fire problem. So, like I said, primary access is going to be with that power saw, but you can also use your Halligan and get in, and you can also go through the lock if you need to. Thank you. That's been another Training Minute. I'm John Buckheit.